So we've known Jeff Hardy has had abuse struggles, right? Substance abuse
Mm-hmm.
struggles. And that, as is the case with folks who have substance abuse struggles, these are not always a linear progress, right? Sometimes it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, so on. This Jeff Hardy one was kind of bad once we started hearing the details of it. So he gets pulled over at 9 in the morning, and they've had several 911 calls, the policeman says on the dash cam, and he's swerving all over the place, and he is literally can barely stand up. And they did a blood alcohol, and it was 0.294,
Mm-hmm.
and I heard an expert talking that 0.35 and you're near death.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this could have been bad for Jeff Hardy, and he was that bad. How did he not kill somebody in rush hour traffic? Yeah, this one, I don't know if Jeff Hardy might not actually serve time on this one, man. Oh.
This look, for as worked up and as passionate as I was about stop supporting someone who's doing bad things, I'm going to go on the other side here. And it's not because I like one person more than the other. Anyone who's listened long enough knows that the Hardy Boys, Young Bucks style of wrestling just isn't my thing. So it's not as if I have some special place in my heart for the Hardys, right? It's just, addiction is a real thing that even with your most, valiant effort, you're still going to fail. So this is the part where you just, you have to get help. And even if you can't do it yourself, your inner circle, not, not Chris Jericho's old group, but your, support system has to step in and say, you got to stop. Because the other thing that's a little bit of a head scratcher, and I'm going a little bit more higher level view here, is apparently, one of the charges was that Jeff Hardy shouldn't even be driving because his license is suspended and all of that. So how is he getting a rental car?
Apparently he was using the license. Apparently he still had the physical copy, even though it was suspended,
But
using it.
and again, I know that especially with a new company like AEW, maybe their operations aren't at the level of a WWE or an NFL or
Yeah,
Major
people
League
know he's
Baseball,
driving, and people
but
know he's
people,
driving that know he can't drive.
right. And that's
His
the
brother
part that's
knows he's
concerning.
driving from town to town. His brother's not being like, yo, no.
Right, exactly. That's the part that's concerning to me is you have someone who obviously has addiction problems that when their addiction arrives at their footsteps, they're driving and may be affecting others. So you can't turn a blind eye to a situation like that. That's the part that really frustrates me is hey, you have someone like you said, addiction and overcoming addiction isn't a linear thing. You don't just go step 1, step 2, step 3. You go step 1, step 4, step 2, go back to square 1, step 1. It's a constant moving battle here. And so when you're, friends and family are just like, oh, he shouldn't have a license, but he'll make it from St. Louis to Kansas City. It's totally fine. He can drive that. He's not drinking right now. It's look, maybe he's not drinking, but he might go to jail for breaking probation if he's going 70 and a 55 and he has no license that he should be driving.
He's not
Like,
drinking right now, but what happens when he does?
well, and then
And
that's
then he's
even
got the
a
car.
scarier
Right.
thing, right?
Right.
That's the part that's concerning. For me, I want Jeff Hardy, and this isn't I want him out of here, but I think it's time again, we find him or he needs to find something that's doing different because it just shows that this lifestyle is just he can't handle it. And it's sad to say, but it's apparent. This is the third company. This is WWE, TNA, and now AEW. You've done this consistently in 3 different companies in one industry. You have to switch industries because you can't handle it. It sucks.
Yeah, well, and just first and foremost, he needs the help. This stuff kills you. I've had 2 loved ones in my mom's side of the family die from alcoholism. Issues.
Oh,
It
yeah.
happens.
My uncle passed away my first day at Central Missouri because we were driving because he was on the way to Warrensburg and we were going to go pick him up and he died because of being intoxicated and he choked on his vomit and passed away. So like, yeah, alcoholism. I lost 3 uncles from alcoholism. Like it's a real thing. And it's hard because I saw Matt Hardy's wife being like, look, we can't be with him 24/7. And that is true, right? Like at some point, you got to be like, hey, like I'm going to sleep. He's got to, he's
Right.
got to be able to sleep, right? But again, the thing that's the most concerning that I think people should be aware of is that like he shouldn't have been driving and it's been known that he has been. So like that's the detail that your support system needs to
Well, and
work
he
on.
mentioned something about needing to go to the doctor for a brain scan, and I was like, dude, are you just trying to get away from the cops and make it seem like you're not drunk, or like, are you also getting brain
Well,
scans and drinking and doing spots and doing like it's time, right? Like it's time.
yeah. Yeah, I took that again as someone being intoxicated saying like, "No, no, 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 the reason I'm
I'm not
doing
drunk,
this."
yeah.
Right, yeah. That again, but who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know the details, but it's sad. It's very sad and it's just because he seems like a genuinely good person, right? Like from
Sure.
all accounts, outside of this addiction problem that he has, everyone speaks in such high regard as him helping others or him, being giving and losing a match or whatever it is. So it's like,
Always a smile with the fans and stuff. Like, I mean,
yeah,
he's always been,
exactly.
yeah. Like, again, I don't want to disparage, and I know that like addiction can hit. It's not a like a moral failure on a person. You know what I mean? Like, I've
Right.
never thought that. It's just, yeah, it's now I'm starting to say like, hey, this is a moral failure of the surrounding community, right? Like,
Yeah,
let's help this
exactly.
guy as much
Right.
as we let it happen around us, like because we knew, it happens, man. Like, swept things under the rug. Everybody had, but that's at some
Yep.
point you got to step up and be like, oh shit, we can't do this anymore. Like, how many times we've had a dry family get together. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
because
Yeah,
there was
people
one or two
can't
that
handle
couldn't
it.
handle it. Right?
Yeah.